What's good, everyone? It's the one and only NY Phenom. If you guys enjoy NFL, NBA content, want to see some more gaming content soon, give this video a like, and if you're new, go and subscribe to the channel while you're at it. Now, let's go and get into this video. Listen, this video right here, I'm just going to be talking about the team needs of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Because I'm going to be real, after that Jameis video I dropped, it seems like a lot of Buccaneers fans want to speak about the Buccaneers. So if that's the case, let's speak about it. Listen, with all the talk, with all this, that, I really feel that Jameis Winston is going to be back next year. Now, I don't think Jameis Winston is going to get a max deal or anything. I don't think it's going to be a 5-year, 140. He's not going to get that Carson Wentz treatment. Right? He's not going to get the Carson Wentz, Kirk Cousins, Russell Wilson. He's not going to get none of that type of treatment. However, I think Bruce Arians is going to bring him back on maybe like a 1-year, 2-year deal to see where Jameis can improve a bit. But, listen, Jameis' season wasn't as bad as people say it was, okay? Yes, the 30 interceptions is not good, okay? 30 interceptions is not good. It's bad, okay? It's horrendous. However, if you watch the game tape, and I mean, as much Bucs fans commented on my previous Jameis video, it seems like you guys somewhat watched the game. And if you guys watched the game, now all 30 interceptions was on Jameis Winston, right? There was a lot of bad routes, a lot of bad catching mechanics. I mean, a lot of drop balls that turned into interceptions. But, of course, a lot of those were still on Jameis' fault, not reading the defense, making bad throws, forcing passes. But at the end of the day, I think, well, at least in my opinion, I think Jameis Winston is still a special talent, man. He has good arm talent, got the arm strength. He can make plays out of the pocket, in the pocket. He can break sacks, and he's pretty accurate. I mean, he's made some really good throws on every single level of the field, where it's short, intermediate, down the field. I mean, he's really throwing some beautiful down the field passes. I mean, that play action game that Bruce Arians likes to run, and having Mike Evans running goal routes, I mean, it was pretty good to watch. I mean, it really was. But I think the focus, listen, I like Ronald Jones. I think he has some talent, but I wouldn't mind seeing him go after a veteran running back. Now, I'm not sure if there's going to be, I'm not sure what the running back market is looking like in free agency, but, someone to come in, move the chains a bit. This is solid, veteran running back who's going to come in and, do his role. Well, I wouldn't mind, to be honest with you. You know what? With David Johnson possibly not joining the Cardinals, with David Johnson probably not being the Cardinals' plans no longer, why not match David Johnson with his previous coach? Why not match up David Johnson with Jameis Winston? Why not do it? Why would Bruce Arians not bring back David Johnson and bring him on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers? He already had success in the past. I mean, at one point, we were talking about, is David Johnson the best back in the NFL? Like, what was it, 2016 under Bruce Arians? I mean, I think Bruce Arians can get somewhat of the level of production that David Johnson had, a few years back. Could you imagine David Johnson, a 2016 level David Johnson in the backfield? That would be deadly. I think this offensive line can be cleaned up a bit from the inside, from the outside. I don't think it's terrible, okay? I don't think it's a Cincinnati Bengals level or the Miami Dolphins level of O-line play, but it's still, it can still definitely be worked on. I like where the defense is heading at. I really think that the defense showed a little bit of something, especially on the D-line. I really like what Todd Bowles, I really like where he's heading with having the D-line at right now. This D-line was amazing against the run. I mean, Vita Vea, he's a really good nose tackle, right? Sue came in and played really, really well. I mean, Sue came in, I'm not sure. I mean, we know no comment can Sue. He's getting up there in age. But at the end of the day, if he's going to bring that same level of production, why not keep him? Shaq Barrett, of course, have a career year, led the league in sacks, but he's a free agent. And pass rushing was pretty huge. I mean, you guys, Shaq Barrett, he was huge getting after the pass. JPP. So overall, I like where that's heading. But the biggest weakness on the defense that really needs to be ensured is the secondary, man. The secondary was just not good. I mean, as many big plays as the Buccaneers get on offense, they were going to give up the same or more on the opposite side of the field. I mean, this secondary was not good at all. I mean, it just came to a point where we knew that they were just going to give big play after big play after big play. I mean, you get rid of Vernon Hargreaves because he wasn't putting the amount of effort that you guys wanted in the field. But I mean, just overall, looking at the secondary play, it's not good. I mean, Carlton Davis, he showed a little bit of something, but I mean, the talent is just not there. I mean, Sean Murphy Burtland, MJ Stewart, these guys aren't starting caliber. It's just not a good secondary. Like, there's nothing to speak about, man. It's not a good secondary. They need some help. Now, there's a lot of cornerbacks in the open market going to the year. You got James Bradbury, Aqib Talib. I know he's getting up there in age, but I think this team is a few pieces away from being a contender itself. So, making it to Talib is a one-down move. You got Eli Apple, he's a free agent. You got some good secondary play out there when it comes to the free agency market. So overall, look at that. You got the draft. I really think that they need to shore up the secondary. I think if you can get a solid secondary, I'm not saying elite. Okay, you guys don't have to be the Patriots of this year. You guys don't have to be you guys don't have to be the Ravens. Yeah, have Marlon Humphrey, Earl Thomas, and Jimmy Smith and the crew. But just have a solid secondary, and if you guys can get somewhat the same pass rush with a Shaq Barrett, a Carl Nassib, if you guys can get that type of pass rush with a decent secondary, this defense is going to be good enough to hold the offense up. And like I said, this offense can get somewhat of a running game because I'm going to be real. A big reason why Jameis Winston had 30 interceptions himself is because they didn't run the ball enough. Now, I know it's Bruce Arians, and Bruce Arians just doesn't like running the ball. He's definitely a QB mind. I mean, ever since I started watching him with Andrew Luck, running the ball has just never been his thing. But you can get somewhat of a running game. Like I said, if you get David Johnson and you still keep Ronald Jones, you got a really good running core. I mean, you could run the ball, work off the play action, because Bruce Arians loves to work the play action. You can do that. This offense can be lethal. Now, one thing I will say, it's going to be interesting what they do at tight end. O.J. Howard had somewhat of a disappointing year. I know a lot of people, especially me, was expecting going into this year for O.J. Howard to be a top 5 tight end. That wasn't the case. Now, you still got Cameron Brate, but I believe Cameron Brate is going into this last year. What are we going to do at the tight end position? Now, what I think is going to happen is, I think Cameron Brate is gone. So what that means is, going to this year, it's going to be key that O.J. Howard steps it up a level. Not just not just at the stat sheet, but just being an all-around tight end. Not dropping passes. There's a lot of times on the field I really felt that O.J. Howard wasn't there. There's a lot of drop passes on there. I mean, O.J. Howard just has to step it up, okay? Now, you're going to get Mike Evans fully healthy next year, so is Chris Godwin. I mean, it's hard to get better than Mike Evans and Chris Godwin on one side. Now, we know Chris Godwin, he can run the slot. He can play outside too. But can we get another receiver, just another good receiver. Because my thing was the previous year, you just didn't have Mike Evans and Chris Godwin, but you had Deshaun Jackson, someone else who can, take the top off the defense. Now, I really like how Brashad Perriman was playing at the end of the year when Mike Evans was out and Chris Godwin. If Brashad Perriman, if he can finally become what we thought he was going to be early in his career, it could look really good. I was still with as much as Bruce Arians wants to pass the ball, can we get another receiver? It doesn't have to be a star tier receiver, but somebody who can just play all around the field, who can get open quick, whether that's in the slot or the outside. Just get one more wide receiver out there in this offense. We could be talking about this possibly being the best offense in the NFL. But I think that's what's going to have to happen. Of course, as a quarterback, I gotta show something to Jameis. All right. Yes, he has to be better when it comes to pocket awareness. Excuse me. He has to be better when it comes to pocket awareness. He can't make some of the same reads he made. Because listen, as much as I try to big up Jameis Winston, you can't explain some of the interceptions he's throwing. It's like Jameis picks. It's just what he does. But if we can reduce some of the picks that he has, okay? If we can take that number of 13 to 18, 20, I don't think that's too hard, okay? Get a running game, run the ball a bit more. Like I said, if they can get a David Johnson to reunite with Bruce Arians, I think this offense can become lethal. Get some better O-line play. I'm looking at the center position. I'm looking at the left tackle position. Like, if you can ensure the center and left tackle position, I really think this offense it can be lethal. And if you add that to the offense, add a secondary, just a decent secondary, and there's a pretty good market at the cornerback position, I think we can be talking about Tampa Bay Buccaneers as just not as NFC South contenders, but as NFC and just NFL contenders to make a run at the Super Bowl. I really think this Tampa Bay Buccaneers potential is that high. But that's just my thoughts. I know a lot of Buccaneers fans, they have different opinions. Love to hear your thoughts, but that's all. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. I'm the phenomenal one. I'm out. Deuces.